Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Hello, welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Hi.
Make sure to give us a rating or review wherever you listen to it on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app. We'd really appreciate it. And also make sure to check out our other podcasts we have, like Blown Off, Miguel and Holly's Blown Off, where you listen to podcasts. You can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. So I was right before we started, I was just looking, I was posting the tease for the Hum game for tomorrow because Ed Sheeran just announced that he's going on tour and he's making a stop in Atlanta in May, and we're giving away tickets this week for the Hum game.
Nice.
Yes.
Ed Sheeran.
So as I was getting my little Hum game tease up on the Miguel and Holly Insta, I saw that there is this pizza place here in Charlotte called Benny Pinello's, I believe it's pronounced. And they have a picture because it caught my eye. It was like security cam footage of two guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, at 11:55 last night, Sunday, just 5 minutes before close, these two customers thought it would be funny to vandalize our restaurant by painting graffiti all over. They somehow pulled it off without our restaurant full of customers noticing. If you have any information on who these two men might be, please send us a DM or email us. We appreciate any information you might have. And if you check us out on YouTube where we're live, you can see some of the graffiti that they left on like the tables and on the cash wrap area. I just will never, because I was never one of those like mischievous teenagers. And these don't look like teenagers, by the way. They look like grown-ass men. I just will never understand destroying someone's property for like a hard-earned business. Like I can see, I don't condone it, but I can see how some people, like with a Walmart or something, where people are like, they don't pay their workers, or I have a gripe with them. Whatever. All right. Don't think it's right, but I can see it. But to just go into a business like that, that's going to cost them so much time and money to do that. I will just never understand why people do stuff like that.
Who raised you?
I had a mischievous moment, like in 8th grade, where there was like a big development behind like the neighborhood of my house, and there was a bunch of new homes being built.
Mm-hmm.
And so a friend of mine and I would always just go and just draw on some of the plywood floors and like push all the caulk out of the caulk gun. And we thought it was hilarious. And now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, God, we were dicks because we were just using all of their equipment, like all their stuff and making a mess. But we literally never thought it was hurting anybody. We were like, they left this stuff here in open houses and it's a mess from the workers anyway. So let's just explore some of these houses. And so it's just like literally being a dumb kid. But this is malicious. And I don't see why you would want to do that. Like, do they have a vendetta against these people?
Right.
Is it like a dare? I guess I would like to know some motivation for that.
I am curious, like, what's the mischievous things that you did as a child that you look back at? Mischievous?
It's mischievous,
that you look back and you're like, oh my God. Like, I remember one time when we were younger, I lived in Denver, so we had to be like 10.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a construction site near our apartment complex. And so we broke into the truck wasn't broke. It wasn't locked. It was a construction truck and it was unlocked. We went in and we grabbed the fire extinguishers that they had.
I love this story, by the way.
And then I, of course, gay ass Miguel, when I was younger, I had two of my friends and we're probably 4th or 5th grade and probably 5th grade, had them take two of the fire extinguishers, spray the white powder up, as I walked through singing Queen of the Night by Whitney Houston.
Yay!
Gay.
Pretty epic, though.
I mean, and like, I'm pretty sure it probably like wasn't that great, but in my mind, how I've told the story through the years, it
really gets bigger and bigger every time you tell it.
like somehow like a spotlight came on and I had Whitney Houston's headgear from The Bodyguard. You got the stuff that you want.
That's mama.
So that probably, well, there's that. And then another thing I did when I was younger, where to this day, I still maintain that I did not do this, but this is like the police got involved.
What?
There was like, I know, it was probably around the same age. Like we were in our Bebe's Kids phase. Like we were just running around the apartment.
I'm telling you, everybody has one. Yes.
You're just like running around.
Like when your parent first leaves you a little bit unsupervised for a while, I had like a rough phase where we would prank call people from the phone book. You can't even do that nowadays. Yeah, in like 6th grade. And then I did those house vandalisms in 8th grade. It was just middle school kids are the worst.
We should do this topic on the air. The most mischievous things you did as a kid. But there was some sort of argument happening with the kids outside that we were playing. And it was all of us that were like, we play outside every day after school. And then something happened where it was like one side against the other. And do you remember, depending upon where you live, like the little drain, the storm drain that would be it's on the side of a house or an apartment building where the water comes from the roof. And then they would have these concrete little things where the water would come through and it would go out. And so for some reason, couldn't tell you why, we had picked one of them up and we were like holding it. Well, apparently I happened to hold it and I was trying to put it down, but it hit this girl's toe and it broke her toe. And so then her parents called the police on me. And so then like the police came to our house and my mom was like, Miguel is not like a violent person. He would never just throw it. And everybody around us was like, it fell out of my hands. I don't remember what happened. But I remember I was like, I literally had no intention of trying to hurt this girl. But her parents were like so close to pressing charges and I was going to get in trouble. And I was like 10 years old.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. That would be the age. It's like 10 through 13.
Yes. When you're just
terrifying.
outside doing like crazy stuff.
Yes. You're outside.
Yes. Outside. I mean, there's some like crazy stuff I remember at that age that we would do. Like I remember it's so gross looking back at it. Some of the kids would go basically dumpster diving around the apartment complex, or we had like some fast food places around our apartment complex in Denver at this time. And I remember now, like I wouldn't do it because I was like, me with like, I didn't want to get dirty. And I was like, that's disgusting. But please believe I would sit there and like wait to see what they found inside of the dumpster. Like, why? Like,
because there's nothing else to do. We didn't have anything else to do, and we just did stupid shit. Like that's just what we did. I just remember just always there's some, especially with those prank calls, man.
Did you do anything, Kelvin?
I did illegal shit before I was 10. I had to have been like 7 or 8, and my mom took me to Marshall's, and it was always a mission to like want to get a toy because it was just my parents were not like that. Like they didn't buy me toys like that. I mean, I had a few, I'm assuming. And I really wanted this camera set up, and it was probably like, what is the brand, like Fisher or something like that?
Yeah,
It was
like
probably
Fisher
something
Price.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember it being like $35, I think is what it was. And I was like, my mom is never gonna buy me this. So I don't know why, but I got the idea to go to the bra and panties section, rip off a sticker that said $2, extremely small.
Oh no.
Took off the sticker of the original price, put on the toy. I remember the woman scanning it and being like, oh wow, that's really cheap. And my mom was like, yeah, sure, take it. Like she didn't even just question it.
Right.
And I took that shit back home.
Oh my gosh, you little
Did
thief.
you know that was stealing? Because I did that shit in middle school.
Oh
We
my
used to shop at this like high-end thrift store. So first of all, it's a thrift store. First of all, but then we would get the day that it was like, you know how they have like sometimes the red sticker day is on sale or the blue or the green or whatever. So we would take like the red stickers if it was like $1 that day and replace like the yellow sticker that was like $15 with the $1 sticker. And we got all this stuff. And I told my mom, like, I was so proud of it. I was like, we moved the stickers and we got all this stuff for like $4. And she's like, that's stealing. And I was like, we paid for it. And she was like, no, that's not. No, it's not.
No,
and so
no.
I literally thought like, oh, you can do this. That's no big deal. So did you know it was stealing?
I don't think I did until
I don't
later
think-
on.
Right.
I grew up like now I don't like to lie. Like I'm not the best liar. I will laugh in your face if you ask me something and I feel uncomfortable. I'll just laugh. So I never liked getting in trouble. I really didn't. I just constantly had anxiety about that. So I would try to be a good, child.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later on where I was remembering, I was like, why do I remember this memory? And then I thought about it, I was like, wow, that's really fucking illegal.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
But I think at the time I didn't. I think it was just something I thought was normal that you
Right.
could
Yes.
do.
It's like you figure out a trick and then you're like, yes, I think I told y'all the other day that my kid did this and she totally like plagiarized. Like she discovered what plagiarism is, but didn't know it's plagiarism. And she just did it and she was so proud. Like, because kids don't know things.
Right.
So like when they come up with an idea, they're like, no one has ever done this before.
This is
Right.
brand new.
She's like, I can just Google something, like kids nowadays. I
Like-
can just Google something, copy and paste it, and it's done.
That's it. Like,
And she was so like, when I say she was so proud of herself.
Oh.
And I had to be like, yeah, no, that's called plagiarism, and that's actually illegal.
You know what's crazy?
Uh,
There are websites now where you can copy and paste and they will replace the words for you.
I bet.
oh wow.
I
I'm about to say
bet
the-
insane is
there
that?
is.
the technology now, because we were just at that point when I was in college to where you have to upload your paper to a site and then I guess it would scan the internet. But that was like my last 2 years of college just to
I
make
didn't
sure.
have that.
Yeah, that was like the last little bit where they'd be like, you have to upload your paper. So you'd have to print out a physical copy to turn in that day. But
Well.
like right before you'd have to upload it online.
Really glad they didn't have that.
Oh, Holly.
Oh.
But I replaced words. I made it sound like my own.
Wow.
That's where
Yes.
Maya got it from.
Yes, it's where she got it from.
It's in her DNA.
I wasn't gonna tell her that I did it. I was just trying to guide her in the right direction. You know?
Plagiarism Holly over here just skating on by.
It wasn't straight plagiarism. I worked hard at making sure it was very different.
The amount of time that you spent on changing the words, you could have written an original paper.
Oh no,
Nah,
I
fuck
didn't.
that.
That's
I
a
hated
lot of
writing papers in
work.
college.
Oh, me too. It was the worst.
I
And
loved
I had
it.
a professional writing minor. I had to write so much. That's probably why I
Hell
was like
no.
so sick of writing. Ugh.
See, I loved it. That was like the time where I could finally, because I didn't do well at like multiple choice tests because I'd be like, can't I just tell you what I know? Why are you trying to trick me? And so I would be and that was the thing that would always trip me up on tests with multiple choice is that I'm like, well, I know what the answer is, but then you're giving me answers that kind of seem like it's close to it.
Right.
And then I would get so frustrated. So that's why when we had like an essay test or we could write our paper, I can tell you because I understand the concepts and I know.
Yeah.
And that's why I like that so much better than having to take a damn multiple choice test. I hated it.
They do try and make them tricky sometimes to
Um,
mess you up on purpose. Like, what? Just, I know it.
He's straight
Let me
fucking
just
forward.
know.
Literally,
Yes.
some of the other people that have done stuff bad, Anne Marie said in kindergarten, I decided to draw with markers on the school bus with a friend, and I went to Catholic school, K through 5, so we colored all the seats. She got called down to the principal office. Sister Janet, which as a 5-year-old, she looked huge and mean. She had the paddle out.
Oh, not Sister Janet. No.
Anne
no.
Marie got
Ooh.
spanked.
Wow. Laura Top Life said, I mean, I jumped from the top of a slide and broke every bone in my right foot.
That's not illegal.
Oh,
That's just bad.
no. You just
Girl.
didn't know. I remember my mom was dating this guy that's why we moved to Denver, and he had 2 kids, and the son, Xavier, he jumped off the couch and he was trying to like tackle me, but he miscalculated how far he jumped. And so we had one of those like old school, remember the big TVs that would like sit on the floor because it
Yes.
was so big and it
They
was
were
like wooden
heavy
heavy. Yes.
AF.
Well, his head hit the side of it and it like
Ah.
gashed the side of his right above his eye. Like if it was just a little bit lower, he probably would have been blind. It would have gotten his eyeball. And
Oh my
so he's
God.
like literally squirting blood out of his
Yeah, because
eye.
head wounds bleed really a lot.
Right. So we're like, yo, and like he's crying. And then they were like, what did you think was gonna happen when you jumped off the damn couch? And we were like, we were just playing. We didn't know.
Kids don't know. I really try to remember that. Like, I try. It's so hard sometimes because as an adult, you're like, what? Come on.
Right.
But then kids are just like,
well, it's
So-
like that kid logic that you just don't think. Like I remember one time my mom made peanut butter cookies, and she had one of those little I don't know, what do you call it? Where the platter with the glass over it.
like when you might display a cake in.
Yeah, but the cookies were in there.
Yeah.
I remember one morning before she woke up, I was like, I'll break the cookie in half and she won't know that I had some. And like literally,
What?
girl, I was 7. Like my mom came out and she was like, Miguel. And I was like, what?
What? You're like looking around. You're like, what?
Why is this image in my mind so funny?
Now I think about how my mom, she probably wanted to laugh because
Yeah.
it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what do you mean? I didn't have any cookie. And she's like, why is there half a cookie there? I don't know who ate it, Mom. Like, I don't know what you mean. Oh, kid logic is just so stupid.
Yes.
Let's see here. Laura Top Life said, my daughter stole from the store when she was 9. We did a whole scared straight with the sheriff's office with her, so she'd never do it again.
Dang.
Damn,
No.
Laura. You don't gotta do her like that. Damn.
Oh, Lord. Little Mustang never did it again, apparently.
Oh, jeez.
no.
That's fun. Anyway, so hopefully they find the people that graffitied that pizza place in Charlotte.
Yeah, back to that shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Um,
Terrible.
I wanted to bring something up which is not controversial and it's not like a sexy topic by any means, but I wanted to sort of talk through it on the podcast because I feel like maybe we all have those, because like on our show, we always encourage you to be yourself and do what makes you feel comfortable and, F what society says. Like if you are a woman and you want to have underarm hair, we've talked about that before, like do it. Like,
Yeah.
What rule in the universe says women can't have underarm hair?
It's
Do
just
it.
society.
Well, I've reached one of those situations that I'm like, I want to do it, but society has always said that it's not. And it's not even a big deal because guys do it. One of my friends visited a couple of weeks ago and he had black nail polish, like matte black. And for years, especially with our generation, I remember what Pete Wentz back in the day with the guy liner and stuff.
Liner.
Yeah.
Breaking bounds right there. with his
Absolutely.
Pop punk.
Right. And so got like Machine Gun Kelly, he wears like for his past tour, which is all pink, he's been wearing pink nail polish or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's something that makes me nervous about doing it. And I haven't been able to like put my finger on why, because I don't know. I don't know why, but I've just been, because when my friend came into town, I was like, okay, that's really cool. And then like the more I looked at it over the weekend, I was like, I feel like that's something that I would want to rock or at least like try out once, but I'm like nervous about it.
I had a phase last year where my fiance Oscar was doing it weekly. But I did it like I think maybe once or twice. And I felt so cool with them. But I also had like different designs. So like I did flames, I did like a drip effect, or I did like a lightning bolt. And like you don't have to do all of your nails. You can just do maybe like 2 of them and just have your things like that. So there were times where I felt maybe a little insecure in the sense of like being around other people, like, oh, what are they doing thinking about my nails? Like you think I'm an F word and blah 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 blah. And like
Right.
I didn't care after a while. And Oscar got them done almost like every 2 weeks. And it was just really cool. Like it was just fun. I understood finally, like, why do women like to color that? Like, I don't fucking get it. What's the point? And then when you just look at your hands and you're like, oh, this is really cute. I like this. And it's fun. It's just fun. It's the same with makeup for me. I see it the same way where like if I could just put like a little glitter, nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary, it makes me feel cool. And I think doing your nails would probably make you feel that way.
And has anyone, like when you were doing it, anyone said anything? Were they like,
No, I did them right next to my mom. It was kind of like I'm like, my mom is not the most pride flag, worshiping, whatever, waving person.
Right.
But I was like, I don't care. Like, what are you gonna tell me? I don't give a
Mm.
fuck. Like, you don't pay for my bills. I didn't mean it like that's not how I felt towards her, but I just
Right,
felt like
just
in
in general.
general, in
Right.
general. So I did it right next to her, and she was like, "You're so funny." I was like, "Yeah, you're pretty funny."
Like, yeah, that's me. Just
Like,
funny.
I wonder if it's that like sometimes internalized homophobia that we as gay people sometimes have. When we've talked in the past about how in the gay community, being super masculine is something that's, held up as a great attribute to have. How like some gays, if you're like, oh, I had no clue that you were gay, and they're like, I'm very proud of that, and I worked at it. And it's like, why? Like, what about your personality are you quieting in order to make society feel more comfortable and to make your sexuality more comfortable for everyone else around you? So it's sort of like one of those issues that, I've sort of been exploring as I've become more comfortable in my own skin and with, my role in society as a gay Black man. And how it talks to the bigger picture of like, who's going to say something? And if they do, literally what will happen? Like, what will happen in that moment? And so it's sort of like, I just wanted to sort of talk it out because that was something I was thinking about this weekend because I think I'm going to go and get my nails did this week.
So are you going to get them just polished? Or are you getting like tips put on, make them long? Or what are you doing?
No, I don't want like long. I just want like, I guess, would you describe it as matte black when you go? Like his were just like that murdered out.
Sorry. I didn't know we ran into Street Miguel just now. Murdered out.
You don't want my murdered out nails, bitch. Come on.
Yo, Miguel's had the giggles all day today. I don't know what's up.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on, bitch.
Give me that murdered out nails.
I recommend not going to your local place that's probably full of a lot of Vietnamese women going, oh, murdered out. Yes, you would have to ask for matte black because
Not murdered out black.
Probably not murdered out. Only because like the absolute standard is that they just shellac everybody. Like you're coming out with glossy no matter what, unless you were to state otherwise. Okay. And they may even have to use a different. Since I've never murdered out my own nails. I don't know how they do it. Actually, I don't know how they set those. So yes, you're gonna have to be very specific about it. But I'm sure they can do it. Now, see, obviously, like we're getting into spooky season. I'm going to be probably doing a black. Maybe I'll ask for murdered out myself.
Yes, let's all get murdered out nails in spooky season.
I got to go this weekend because these were my Vegas nails and I got them the week before Vegas. So but it's time for black. Maybe it is. They usually last me 3 weeks. So be twinsies.
Oh, I love
black.
Okay.
Yeah. I say you do it. I say, and I'm not sure why you are having an issue. Maybe because, like for somebody like a Machine Gun Kelly, it's not like a signal that, oh, I'm part of the gay community. It's like I'm part of the punk community.
Right.
And so maybe you're more feeling like an imposter, like, well, I could do this and people would think it's punk. Or what if people just think I'm being flamboyant?
Right.
So maybe there's like a bit of a dichotomy there. But either way you want to do it for, or it's just you're not making a statement at all. You just like it. Right. I think you need to accept it first. And then, like you said, like it's an internalized thing. I think you should, though.
I think also, too, as we're talking through this, when I think about like this weekend, Abe and I went to Charlotte Beer Garden. And it's very broy on a Saturday when there were like college football games going on.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure.
And I mean, it was like, and it's just to speak plainly, it's all white people. Like literally we got to the rooftop and it's all white sort of, early to mid 20s, 30s guys with like girls, and they all got there. Like a lot of Penn State people, I guess, live here in Charlotte
Oh, I guess.
because they were hollering the chants and stuff like that.
Maybe that happens to be like a Penn State watch party place.
I guess so, because they were out and about. But like those sort of spaces, if I'm not Miguel from the radio, we're doing an event or something where it's just me and my like bright ass, chubbies Hawaiian shirts that are
Yeah.
like, hey girl, I'm here.
I'm bringing a little Florida.
And everyone else is in like dark blue navy.
Yeah.
And like literally I walked up the stairs and it was like someone said, hail the sunshine. And everyone else got their
Yay.
beer and I'm like, yay. And so I think because being in a new city, that like every time we go to a space, I'm uncomfortable because I'm not familiar with the people and the
Yeah.
spaces and stuff. And so I think that's probably adding to the sort of like awkwardness of like getting this done.
I get it. It's still a new space. And that's okay.
Before we finish out today, Holly,
Yeah.
did you get your power back?
Yes, I did.
Good.
So I don't remember if you did this on the podcast or off the podcast, like invited me to go to your house.
Oh, it was both on and off.
Okay, and I don't know what I said on, but like I did indeed end up doing that, obviously, but to you listening. So I did, my boyfriend and I went to Miguel's 100-day dream home on Friday night because like I said, like at first I was going to be like, no, that's fine. Like we're fine. We were not fine. What the fuck were we going to do on a Friday night when Maya is going over a friend's house to sleep over? Like we were just sitting each other and like look at each other in the eyeballs. So we did end up going. I was so nervous though. I got to be honest with you. I was so nervous to touch anything or like move anything.
Oh my God.
Break it.
It is so just so in there. It's very situated. It's very fancy. It's very upscale. I was like, he's like, there's no coasters. What am I supposed to do with my cup? I'm like, I don't know. Get a paper towel. Like we ordered food, and then I was like, make sure nothing spilled. Like I was very tense. And so then we actually got a notification from the my Ring alarm. We had only been there for like an hour. The thing bing bonged, and then I was like, maybe let's just go home. Like, let's just
Oh no!
I just didn't want to like leave any trace. I was just, it was beautiful and like amazing, and I was like, we're gonna trample on something. Like we are not.
You didn't even break in the bed?
No, Jesus,
Girl,
no.
I was like, I hope they stay the night and they get
no.
Get that 100-day good girl.
Yes, mama.
No, I was like, I saw the bacon that went into this house. I'm like trying to tiptoe. I'm like, put your shoes outside.
Girl, listen, ain't nobody can destroy that house like I did when I took a shower and water sprayed in the walls and in the floors from me. So listen, I've done all the damage that can be done in that house.
It's so beautiful. But I thank you so much because we ended up watching A Handmaid's Tale over there.
Oh, good.
Your friend had left his Hulu signed in. I was like, thank you.
Ah, thanks, Eric.
I unsigned it out for him after we left.
Oh,
so it'd be nice. And then we just went home. So Friday night the power was back on. So thank goodness. I was like, I got ready this morning not by candlelight. So it was a great weekend. We're starting from fresh with the fridge though. Here we go.
Oh, good. I'm excited you got to stay there. We are
it was really cool. The couch is so comfortable.
Oh, good. We're doing Thanksgiving there at the house, and Abe's parents, they just bought their tickets this weekend. They're coming down. We're gonna get my mom to come down, and his younger brother and his girlfriend, they're gonna come too. So we're gonna have a whole big old Thanksgiving thing at the 100-day dream home in Florida.
That is nice. I'm excited for you. That's really cool.
I'm excited, but then I'm nervous because I haven't cooked in there, and so the first meal I'm cooking is Thanksgiving. So I'm just a little like,
that's stressful because you haven't even like learned how to use everything properly.
Nope, and it's all gas, and I haven't cooked a Thanksgiving meal in gas in a decade. So
yeah, I love a gas stove though. I mean, it goes quick. It goes way faster than electric heating or anything else. But like, yeah, that takes a little bit of practice
Yes.
that you don't have time for.
But thankfully, I'm cooking the regulars, the mac and cheese and the collards and the mashed potatoes. So I'm not doing anything new.
Okay.
So I just, it's going to be fun.
It's fine.
All right. Stefan said, how many days were you without power? Mine just came on today.
Thankfully, it was just like 2.5. Mine was only about 2.5 days. So I was very thankful for that. 4 days is rough. It's just rough. Although I will say in Florida, it had been a little cooler, which was the saving grace, because if the heat and humidity had been up, no. So I know people are still without power. Some of them in Tampa, which is weird because Tampa has like underground power lines and I don't even know what happened. But some people that are living in Tampa still don't have power. And I'm like, man,
my goodness.
And of course, people in the Fort Myers area still sending all of our love.
It's so sad to see all those pictures and whatnot. And thankfully here, when it came through North Carolina, we just had a bunch of rain Friday and Saturday. It was just like,
you got more rain than we did in Hillsborough and Pinellas.
Oh, really?
We got like two inches of rain.
Oh,
that's it.
How many inches did we get here? 3, 4?
Probably 4. It said 4 to 6.
4 to 6. Yeah, it was a lot. So thankfully everybody's okay here.
Yes.
All right, Holly, what's all your social media?
Radio Holly on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Producer Kelvin
at Kelvin Live, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. OnlyFans coming soon.
Girl, you better get that OnlyFans up here before the end of the year.
I'm actually gonna ask if like there is a conflict of interest in my contract. If I could have an OnlyFans, I don't know. I don't think no.
You probably could, but you shouldn't promote it.
Right.
Wait. What sort of content would you have on there?
It's not gonna be XXX at all.
Is it just like you and Oscar like eating? Like I don't know. Like what would it be?
I don't know. Like what would people even want to watch? There are people that like eat and do this whole ASMR thing on there.
You
but
do
like
a mukbang?
I guess, yeah.
Lord Top Life said, I want it. # OnlyFans.
Lord. That with your kid as your profile photo.
She said, girl, she in school. This adult time, honey. I love it.
I don't know. I can't see myself posting poll on OnlyFans. But yeah.
Mine is Miguel Fuller, my TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. No OnlyFans ever coming here. All right. Please leave us a rating, 5-star, a review, please. We'd greatly appreciate it. And we will see you back here on Wednesday. Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.